Hey guys, my name is Josh Valencia. Be sure to check us out at Good Break Studio on Twitter and check us out on Facebook just by looking up Good Break Studios. So today we're going to be looking at this plugin called Little PrimalTap, one of the newest Sound Toys plugin. Really simple, based on the Lexicon Prime Time delay. Really stripped down. I could only imagine what they're going to do with it with the full version. It'll be really nice. And then the next plugin we're going to see down here is the MicroShift, the newest full plugin from the great people at Sound Toys. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna listen to this on a vocal today. Just a really neat effect I got by combining the two. They happen to be the newest, so really cool to just look at these two in action together. And then just a couple other little things throughout the video. I'll point out some useful features. So let's go ahead and give it a listen with everything going full bore, and then we're gonna look at just the vocal in a second. So let's give it a listen. So as that's fading, just look at this for a little bit. So what do we got here in Little PrimalTap? I already have a separate video done for MicroShifts, but for Little PrimalTap, we have really simple. We have delay in milliseconds that you could set with this big red knob. In the full version, what I'm assuming it's gonna look like is, since we have, well, in the actual primetime delay, they have two delay settings that you could set separately. You could blend them. Set the feedback times in this FB. There's a feedback time for just that one, and then there's kind of an LFO, which you could kind of really tweak it and make it wild. There is a multiplier here, so a fine multiply is what I'm taking this as, and then there's the big giant macro multiply thing, which does a couple things. You can kind of multiply it out, so basically whatever that is, it multiplies it by a factor of whatever it is, x. So basically 1 times 100, that's still 100, so that's just 1 for 1, and that's the highest quality delay. And as you blow it out, so let's say you go to 2, that's 200, it'll get more granular and a little darker and change the character quite a bit. One thing I have seen in the actual delay unit is that each multiplier corresponds to a different frequency roll off or bump. So I'm not totally well versed as to what the bottom numbers mean. They do have something to do with the character that each one imparts. So part of my ignorance, but that's what I got out of that. So that's what that does. Then you have an in, so how much you're putting into the plugin itself, a feedback like I said before, and then a mix, wet or dry. So let's go ahead and give that a listen on just the vocal. So let's listen to the vocal without anything. Now it's just PrimalTap. Okay, now we're going to jump over to the multiply, and you're going to hear how this is going to double up. What I'm going to do is that instead of leaving it at 194, then it going wild, I'm going to leave it at 100. So you could do that a couple ways. You could click here and just type in 100. Hit enter, and there it sets it nicely. Or and then if you wanted to just see what you're looking at, this is a weird glitch. They could probably fix this in Sound Toys, just a little gooey glitch, but you could adjust it and see what it is in milliseconds, even though it's right there. So I guess that's kind of like derp. You should just look up there. But anyway, set that back to 100. And let's go ahead and juice the multiplier as we listen to it. So I'm going to exaggerate everything by just juicing the feedback, and you'll hear the various repeats and all the different permutations. So let's start again at 1. So yeah, that's another random little factoid about that. You could automate all these in the automation window in Pro Tools or in Logic. It's really easy. You could just set it and actually move the knob, then it'll write automation. I kind of missed that. But anyway, you can get the multiply knob and just toss it on here. And then you could write automation and just automate that, because I really did like that wacky sound it was making. So let's go ahead and I could just get, a segment like this and just move it up and down. I could set it to dance. And then you could just set the multiply, or I could have gone ahead and added the adjust knob. Add that to be moved about, so you kind of get that and tweak it as much as you like and have it move throughout the song. So that is pretty cool. You could get that to move and just add little nodes. I'll go ahead and add a few here. Let's go ahead and move that up so it can move up like that and down right here. And so if I add that here and add that there and add one here and put that down here and that over there. Just writing some quick wackadoodle automation, or I could just use the pencil tool and just really freak it out. Okay, now let's. So you could tell I've been here messing with it, but you can really tell you could do some really wacky stuff with this, and you can only imagine what it's like when it's fully expanded. So, and then just really quick to add on what MicroShift was doing, I have the vocal clarity setting, which what that does is that it doesn't necessarily blow everything out super wide, even though you can with the mix knob. What it does is that it puts this like high end only on the outside. So it lets a vocal line stand out a little more. So let's go ahead and give that a listen with this wackadoodle sort of automation I wrote out here. Before I go, I wanted to do two things, just show you a little bit about what MicroShift is doing here, just with everything playing out by itself. Before I go on, this is silly. So just to give you an example, what I'm going to do with MicroShift is basically toss everything out to the sides and then bring it back in using this mix knob. So let's go ahead and listen to that. So you could use that, mess with that, get even deeper. So you go wacky doodle here with the adjust knob. I don't know why I keep on saying wacky doodle. I'm going to say it anyway. And then you could kind of bring things in and out with the mix knob. So neat trick. One last thing before we leave is that I wanted to show you this drum loop that we're going to go over and look at how I got it to make the sound it made. It's kind of a fun little thing I made, and I think it came out pretty well. So let's give that a listen. So anyway, that's a little bit of a preview for next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, my bantering, my fiddling around with automation, and everything else. So if you guys have any comments, be sure to leave them down there. And yep, follow us, check us out, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya.